Hello. So we're doing E3 thoughts here. Last year I did it as a giant discussion with a bunch of other people on the main channel, and that was kind of a disaster. It was a great disaster. It was a fantastic disaster, but I don't want to do that again. So we're going to talk about Microsoft, and then tomorrow we'll talk about Sony, and then on Tuesday we'll talk about Nintendo. And I'm not going to talk about any of the other ones because I don't really care that much. At the EA one, they talked about like Battlefield 5 and a Star Wars game and some stuff coming to Battlefront, and that's like all I even potentially care about, let alone will actually purchase. So yeah. So we're just gonna go through all the announcements here at the Microsoft thing, and we're gonna have a good time. And the best part is at the end, but we'll get there. So we start with Halo Infinite. I don't care. I don't have an Xbox One. I don't have a Windows computer. So most Xbox exclusives don't really matter to me that much. But also, I just don't care that much about the modern Halo games. Halo 5 just kind of came and went, and a lot of people didn't talk about it. And I never heard anything overly positive about it. Halo 4, I think people said was pretty good. But the last one I played was Reach, and I didn't really play much of it. So that's just me personally, but I'm sure people will like it, care about it. Like Master Chief's the main character. I don't know if this is directly Halo 6 or if it's like a Halo Reach kind of thing. I don't know. It's hard to say. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. It'll be cool. I never played the first one, but I should, to be honest. I think that'd be cool. I should do it. Next. Sekiro Shatters Die Twice. I'm very excited about that. I think a lot of the mobility options in there are really cool. I think it's kind of makes sense as like an evolution from like what we saw in Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3. So that sort of increased movement options and like the grapple hook thing and like this crazy dodges and stuff. Like it makes sense, but it still looks, at least to me, like it's going to be a Soulsborne kind of game. It's just like now. Notifications are great. It looks kind of like it'll be a Soulsborne game, but it's kind of weird to call it a Soulsborne when now there's like another franchise, so it's gonna be Sekiro Soulsborne. Like I don't know, I feel like it's just at this point you just say, oh, it's another From Software game. It's like Dark Souls. Got it. They had a little Bethesda section, even though Bethesda's doing their thing in like an hour. I might talk about Bethesda a little bit tomorrow in the Sony one, but whatever. They talk about Fallout 76. It's a prequel, 4 times bigger world than Fallout 4, but that doesn't mean anything's going to be in that world. Ha! But the cool thing is that for people that care about the Elder Scrolls, they said that they're doing 2 games before the Elder Scrolls, I believe. So those 2 games have to be Fallout 76 and Rage 2. That makes the most sense to me. So if that's the case, then I would imagine that the Elder Scrolls 6 would be the next one in the docket. So I don't think that'll be announced next year or anything. Hard to say. They might say it's like a development, but I could see it coming out in 2020 or 2021. That's possible. So there's that. Captain Spirit. It's like a Life is Strange kind of thing. It's free. Cool. I played Life is Strange. I thought it was okay. Crackdown 3, I don't care. Nier Automata is coming to the Xbox One, but it already's out. I haven't played it. The Metro game looks pretty cool, but I haven't played any of them. Kingdom Hearts 3, they show that you're going to be able to go into the world of Frozen, which I'm not surprised given how much Disney loves Frozen. So I wouldn't have imagined them to have Kingdom Hearts 3 without Frozen in it, to be honest. Disney just is living that Frozen train. It'd be cool if they went... I mean, I haven't played a Kingdom Hearts game, so this is just... this is just me throwing ideas out there. I think it'd be cool if they went to the world of the animal one. The animal... What's it called? You know what I'm talking about, right? Zootopia. The world of Zootopia. I think that'd be a cool place to explore and run around as like a Final Fantasy-esque anime dude named Sora. Sea of Thieves expansions. It was funny. They started the trail. Ooh, come on, autofocus. Work with me here. Work with me. You should work with me. Ooh, we're getting there. They're acting like, oh, there's so many players and there's so many people on the game and stuff, and it's like no one, like they played the game, they got the game, and then they just stopped playing after a week when they realized there was nothing else to do. So it's kind of funny that they're treating it like people still play. Maybe people do still play. Maybe I'm underestimating it. I don't know. But I mean, they announced 2 different DLC packs that are coming. I don't know whether those are free or not. They just announced. Let me see if it says whether they cost money or not, whether they're just expansions to the world. I would imagine they would have to. I can't imagine them not doing it as free. No, it doesn't say. Because they treat it like it's an MMO kind of thing, right? So I imagine they just have to update the whole game. Whatever. Battlefield 5 trailer, Forza Horizon 4. They show like 10 minutes of gameplay, and I'm like, you're just driving a car. They're like, oh, look how you can share the world, and there's all these seasons. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've seen the seasons thing, them talk about, look at how the weather and the seasons change. I'm pretty sure we've seen that like every E3 for the past like 5 E3s at this point. So it's like, okay. We Happy Few. That game escaped me last year because I know they announced it last year. I'm pretty sure, and like, wow, that game actually looks really cool. I might get it. It's like a cool little deal. It's like a 1984 kind of inspired thing where it's like, oh, you need to escape, and there were all the dudes with the masks, and it's like forced emotions and government control and stuff. That's pretty cool. Did I just skip over PUBG? I might have. I didn't know that they talked about PUBG at all. The Division 2. Yeah, I don't really care. Sorry. Shadow of the Tomb Raider looks good, but ultimately it's just Uncharted with female protagonists, and that's why I never played any new Tomb Raiders, because I was worried I wouldn't like it. But I mean, the trailer looks good, so cool. There's a game called Session. At first I was like, is this a Tony Hawk game? How does Tony Hawk still exist? And then it wasn't Tony Hawk. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. There was an MMO called Black Desert Online. Devil May Cry 5, they just abandoned that whole reboot thing with the DMC. They were like, we listen to our fans. I'm like, okay. I mean, this is just how you're going to get... The weird thing is Dante doesn't look like Dante, though, so it's kind of like... It's weird. It seems like it's its own different kind of thing still. But, I mean, it looks like they brought back some of the older developers, so who knows? I'm tired. Cuphead DLC, it's called The Delicious Last Course. They got a new playable character. I don't know if that means you can play as 3 people or not, but it's cool. I would have preferred them just like work on a new game, but I don't know. That's just my theory. But I wouldn't have expected a new game for them for like another 4 or 5 years anyway. There's like this was like they did like an indie montage earlier, and it was weird because they had a Warhammer game in there, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure Warhammer's a pretty big franchise. So I don't know why you'd throw that on your ID at Xbox line, but they did. But then they didn't show this game called Tunic, which is like a top-down isometric Zelda-like game where he plays a fox. Like on this article, it just literally says Fox Zelda. But it was just kind of like their token, like, we care about indies, guys. This game was made by one dude. It's like, okay, cool. Talk about like all those other games instead of like 5 minutes of driving. But there's always going to be some of those things. I thought it was cool that they stuck to games a lot with this. Like Xbox has done a really good job of that in recent years. Jump Force. Oh my goodness. It was like, you saw the trailer. It started with Frieza, and then it went to Naruto, and then it went to the dude from One Piece. And it was like, what is going on? It just jumped from thing to thing, and then it was like, Jump Force. I'm like, oh, Shonen Jump, I get it. It makes sense. Okay, I understand. So that was a ride of a trailer. Wow. Dying Light 2, okay. I don't personally care. The next announcement was really cool. Freaking Battletoads. I just hope that like they make it as difficult as the NES game, because every Battletoads that came after the NES game was just kind of like not as fun or as good. I can never actually finish the SNES game because it just doesn't run well on emulator, and you can't buy it anywhere. It's just you just can't buy it anywhere. So it's kind of weird. They might have had that in the Battletoads SNES game on the Rare collection, actually, now that I think about it. Rare Replay, maybe? I don't know. I mean, I hope eventually I might have a PC eventually, so I'll be able to play it then, but it's an exclusive, so it's going to be on Xbox and PC, and that's it, which is fine. Just Cause 4, the trailer looked pretty cool. Gears Pop for mobile. What the heck was that? It was weird because the stream I was watching it cut out, so I didn't get to hear it. It was just like funny, and I was like, are they making fun of Gears of War? But then they just jumped to Gears of War 5. But I guess there was another game that just skipped in the GameSpot coverage of it because it looks like there's Gears Tactics, which is an XCOM style Gears of War game. So I need to look at the trailer for that. Wow. Gears of War 5 is a thing. And then what happened was the big deal, the big thing. Everyone was waiting for it. The new CD Projekt Red game, Cyberpunk 2077. They've been talking about this game since 2012, but they went silent on it in 2014 when the Witcher games, they were talking about that a lot more. And then what happened was Phil Spencer was like, yo, okay, thank you for coming. It was a great time. The whole stage goes black, and then the game freaking hacks the conference, and that's how they play the trailer. I thought that was really cool. And so, I mean, they just played the trailer. They didn't say anything about when it was coming out. They didn't show any gameplay. I'm hoping it'll be on the show floor. Easily, like, I mean, I never played any of the Witcher games because that lore is just a lot, and I just didn't. I didn't all have the time to dive into it. I guess is really so. I'm more afraid than I am like, oh, I wouldn't like it. But I might dive into the Witcher games eventually. But that sort of world, that sort of style is just so unique and just so cool, and I think they're doing a really good job with it. So I'm interested to see what the gameplay of this is, because right now it's just like, oh, here's a world, and that's really it. So it's hard to say exactly, what you're gonna do or how the game will play or anything like that. But like, they've already impressed me, so that's pretty good. And I'm assuming it'll work out similarly to many other similar CD Projekt Red games, like The Witcher, stuff like that. But we'll see what happens with that. So that's easily the most. They knew they had to end the conference with that. I think a lot of people were really, really excited about that one. But highlights for this conference. I mean, Cyberpunk, yeah. Sekiro, absolutely. Battletoads, dude. Like, Battletoads, my guy. Cuphead DLC, I think, is really cool. That's really it. So those are my main highlights. So it was an okay conference. Nothing mind-blowing. I think the Sony and Nintendo ones are gonna be more exciting, personally, but it's just me. I was surprised they did Kingdom Hearts at the Xbox conference. I was expecting them to show that at Sony. Weird deal there. Maybe they'll show more at Sony's. I don't know. But, like, weird. I just was not expecting that at all. But, hey, that's it. That's the conference. That's all I really got to say. I kind of just went down and just said, oh, I like this, I don't like this. But, what else would you expect? So...